Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Watches Command TV, the tallest man in Black Africa. Today, William Samoei Ruto surprised many Kenyans when he appointed Lieutenant Justice Ogolla to the rank of the general. He did not stop there because he went ahead and appointed him as the Chief of Defense Forces. Lieutenant General Francis Ogolla was embroiled in 2022 elections, and according to Afula Chebukati, it is Ogolla and others who wanted the IBC to moderate the results of the president so that there could be a runoff or Raila Amolo Odinga would be declared the president. That is why William Samoei Ruto's move surprised most of his supporters. Before Ogolla was appointed the Chief of Defense Forces, he was the Vice Chief of Defense Forces. And it is worth noting that he now replaces Robert Kariuki Kibochi, who was the Chief of Defense Forces, who is proceeding to retirement. And it is also very, very important to know that the military does not operate like the civil service. The military does not operate like the corrupt police service. The military does not operate anyhow. There is what we call the Tonje rules. And these are rules that are followed very clearly by the military. And I believe no president can go against the Tonje rules. According to these rules, the post of the Chief of Defense Forces must be rotational. It must come from, if for instance, when you look at the situation, if the Chief of Defense Forces came from the Navy, then the other one should come from the Air Force and the Army, like that. And usually, it is the Vice Chief of Defense Forces who usually takes over. So according to Tonje rule, there is no way that William Samoei Ruto, who could have overlooked, there's no way he could have overlooked Ogolla. And this one tells you that he had zero options. For those of you who are saying that he was motivated by the idea of maybe looking like he's not a tribalist. We know that the president has been appointing people on tribal lines and instead of merit. That one we know. But now when it comes to the military is very, very different. There is what we call the military precision. And that is what they do their things. And there's no way, there's no guesswork in the military. I've said that you cannot operate the military like the way you operate the policemen. Like now you say the Inspector General, you can say that you don't want him, what, and then you fire him and force him to resign. You cannot do this with the military. Because what many people have never realized is, although this country is not under the military rule, it is the military who calls the shot in this country. Behind the scenes are generals and lieutenant generals. And these are the people who support the president. Indeed, if the president does not have the support of these generals, if he doesn't have the support of these people, I can tell you, it may become very, very difficult to lead this country. And if William Samoei Ruto decided to overlook Francis Ogolla, I can tell you, there could have been disquiet in the military. Something that no president would have wanted. And again, when you look at the military, that's why you call them the disciplined forces. Indeed, the Kenyan military is the most disciplined forces in East and Central Africa. Their discipline is known. Indeed, hata ukiangalia wanajeshi hata hapo karibu na kwenu, ukiwaangalia wale ambao unawajua, utaona kwamba ni watu ambao wameheshimika sana hata na jamii. Sio watu wa kujitanua vifua. The guys are very humble, but chokoza moja ndio utakuwa umechokoza nyuki. But hutaona hata mmoja akikuchokoza. Hutaona kama polisi vile ambavyo unajua polisi ni wachokozi sana. Huwezi kuona wakiwachokoza kama vile polisi wanachokoza wananchi, the way the policemen harass innocent citizens. Our soldiers will never do this. They have the highest level of discipline. So there is no way politics would be brought to the military. Ati tuseme kwa sababu Francis Ogolla alikuwa pale pale katika uchaguzi, alikuwa pale kwa meeda pale Bomas of Kenya, sijui nini. Ati sasa useme you are going to overlook him. That cannot happen in the military. I tell you that William Samoei Ruto was not doing any favor to Francis Ogolla. He was just doing what was expected of him. And he had zero options. Again, when you look at Francis Ogolla, many people were of the opinion, and are still of the opinion, that he is an Uhuru sympathizer. He is a Raila sympathizer. He is a handshake general. That is what many people are saying even now, even in the social media, even that is what is happening. But all said and done, it is also important that Ruto took the advantage of the perception. The fact that, perception is very, very important as far as politics is concerned, as far as leadership is concerned. And the perception that Kenyans have about William Samoei Ruto is a president who will always lean towards his encouraging people. And also, even here and there, you appoint one Kikuyu after appointing 3 colleges. And then the 6th person will come from the other tribe. This is the perception that is out there about William Samoei Ruto. But now, he could have taken the advantage, and this one, because now, he will appear now to be not a tribalist. He will appear like he doesn't have issue with the other tribes. The other thing is that the face of Kenya is also very, very important. Isionekane kwamba kila mahali ni Wakalenjin na Wakikuyu. Vile vile, he will look like he's not vengeful and he's forgiving. It will maybe give him a credit that he's a forgiving person, and sio mtu ambaye anaweza kulipiza kisasi. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio picha ambayo taswira ambayo inatokea mawazoni mwa watu wengi, and that is why you see most of Kenya Kwanza guys praising William Samoei Ruto, saying that this one was not expected, saying that he could not have appointed. Indeed, one Bianca clearly said that he did the wrong thing by appointing Francis Ogolla because of the way he was embroiled in 2022 general elections, that he wanted the result to be more moderated. But again, when you look at it, this is merit. The military operates with merits. Unlike the civil service, unlike the cabinet, whereby the president has a leeway. Hapa hana namna nyingine, hana lake hapa, lazima afuate sheria, lazima achague yule mtu ambaye anastahiki kabisa. Here it is meritocracy. Here it is the person who deserves. It is not the one who pleases your eyes. It is not the most beautiful person. Sio yule mrembo sana, sio yule ambaye ana sauti ya kuogofya ambaye yule ina kuvutia. Sio yule ambaye ana sauti nzuri kama ya kinanda. Sio yule mtu ambaye anayusha kiuno. Here it's whether you like him or you don't like him. It is the military way, not the political way. Again, when you look at the president, many people are asking that maybe the president could maybe he could have tried to twist Georgia rules, but still he had no options. These are rules, and there's also the military act that has to be followed. And I believe that many people should know that we have also the military intelligence. Just like we have the National Intelligence Service, the military has its own intelligence. And I believe these people, these guys could have advised the president that if you go this way, it will happen like this. If you dare to go against Georgia rules, something could have happened. If you overlook this person, there could be disquiet. There could be serious division. So I believe the military intelligence played its critical role of advising the president. And you see, these are guys who move very quietly. They don't publicize their things very easily. Because when you look at the font of that letter, again, of the appointment letter, you realize that the date is not typed. I believe this is intentional. I believe this is something that is done in a military way. I don't know why, but maybe if you are here and you can tell us why the date is of that letter is not typed, it is handwritten. Again, when you look at this situation, one can argue that from the beginning, Lieutenant General Francis Ogolla could have been a pro-Ruto man. Maybe from the beginning, from the National Security Advisory Council, labda alikuwa pale na he was a Trojan horse akiwa pale. You know, politics is very, very interesting. And when you look at William Samoei Ruto had penetrated, had infiltrated Uhuru Kenyatta's government to the bedroom. Alikuwa anajua kila kitu. He had infiltrated all the institutions. Hakuna jambo ambalo lingeweza kufanyika hata wakifanya mikutano ya kisirisiri, including the inner circles. Alikuwa na pashwa habari. Vile ambavyo alikuwa na pashwa habari mpaka sasa, it has remained a mystery even to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Again, that's what we are saying. He could have been a Trojan horse. He could have been a sympathizer of William Samoei Ruto from the earliest beginning. So maybe we can say he's rewarding him when you look at it in another dimension. Again, somebody could also argue, could ask a question. Why didn't Ruto extend his term? Why didn't he extend his term? Because he had the chance of extending the term of the Chief of Defense Forces, maybe with 1 year. Because I understand the Lieutenant General, that's Francis Omodi, now the General, the Chief of Defense Forces, has just 1 year to go to retire. Maybe he could have extended the term of Kibochi, and maybe by the time 1 year is over, then Ogolla term, time to retire could have come. But he did not bother to do this. That is why we cannot rule out the fact that this man was also a pro-Ruto, a guy. And the issue of rotational command must always be followed to the letter. It is not something that you can negotiate. And I've said that even in the future, I don't expect any president to go against Toja rules. And this one, I believe it is high time that other security organs borrow from this. Indeed, even the executive, even our parliamentarians can borrow from this. That when it comes to the person who is going to lead parliament, it should be like this. When it comes to the person who is going to be the president, in fact, we can have a rotational president. Indeed, according to the regions, it is high time, because you see, it is, when I look at Kenya, by the way, it is only the military that seems to be working. It is only the military that seems to be functional. All the other departments look like they are not functions, that they are functioning. Look at the health dockets. The health ministry is dead. Look at the education. Problems after problems after problems. Look at the CBC. Look at devolution. Almost dead. Look at Senate. The senators are voting against devolution. They are voting against the county government. Yet they are supposed to defend the county government. You see, that is why I'm saying time has come for other institutions to borrow from the military. And I believe that is why Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was very keen to bring the military in his leadership. I don't know what you think, but if you ask me, one man is happy. Francis Omodi Ogolla. Congratulations, the Chief of General Staff. We wish you well. Serve the nation. You are equal to the task. Defend our borders. And may you live long. Till next time. Bye-bye.